is KNT Studio, and today we will be diving into our first episode, which is artificial intelligence versus music. We're gonna dive into music industry. So imagine this: Drake drops a new track. It's catchy, it's emotional, but there's a twist to it. Drake never knew about the song. He never knew that it existed, and he never recorded it himself until it becomes viral. Well, welcome to the new age of AI in music. My name is Traposa. You guys can call me Try. We're keeping this episode cozy and very homey. In this episode, we'll be diving into one of the most controversial debates shaking up the music industry: AI, artificial intelligence. However, I am not alone in this. I have invited a guest over, and he is a production manager from Future Sun Asia himself. Welcome, Zoe.
Hi, I'm Zoe. I'm 24 this year. I've been in the music industry for more than 6 years. I graduated UCSI University with a major in music back in 2023.
Hey, that's interesting. Can I know about how long your career-wise involving in music?
So I've always been a music teacher ever since I was like 18. I have performances, gigs here and there ever so often, and my last big show, if I recall, was New Year's Eve at TRX last year.
Right, so music meets AI. Let's talk about how these two involve each other. So whenever we talk about AI, right, everyone thinks about privacy and them quote-unquote taking over the world or whatnot. So let's rewind back to the history of audio first before we ask questions. So back then, musicians, producer have a different type of problem, which is called piracy. People, if they have music, right, people actually can copy it to those like mini pimp MP3, and they could copy music straight off the radio. Record labels kind of panicked, and they were worried about music sales would die. So if people must have known that, right? And today we are in a very similar revolution, but this time it's not just cassettes, it's algorithm, where people actually track what music you like and they will recommend it to you. You could have heard it in Spotify, right?
Yes.
So, which brings me to the first question of this session. Do you think artificial intelligence, AI, can truly capture human emotion in music, or is it just patterns and algorithm?
I think AI will always have issues capturing the human emotions. For example, blues music and where it came from, right? It came from the hardship and the labor and slavery of black people, right? So you can't create such emotions and such raw emotions and feelings from AI, even though, yes, it can generate what blues music is, which is, the chord progressions and the scales and stuff, but it loses its essence of emotions.
Yeah, I definitely agree about that. Because when it comes to emotion, even if you use AI to generate what bed looks like, let's say honey bed, even AI don't really know how people get into the bed, right? So that's something that I'm actually glad about, because AI definitely can't imitate how human is. But now that you mentioned about the emotions back then, AI can do a lot, and it cannot copy things like blues, like Frank Ocean songs, how it really does touch on people's feelings. But then now we have more information about AI partaking in music composing side. What's your take on deepfake music using AI to clone voices of real artists, like the new Drake song, the AI song of Drake and The Weeknd together harmoniously?
Right, there's definitely a gray area there. I think that there definitely needs to be consent from the artists themselves to use their voice. But as I say, it's a gray area because it's also something really hard to regulate, because we also see people copying voices of dead artists, right?
True.
Like Frank Sinatra and so on and so forth. You see people copying Frank Sinatra's voice on Levi's song all the time. So how are we gonna tackle that, right?
Well, I don't know the thoughts about what VMAs, the event where a lot of artists goes, right? That VMA's thoughts on this, because smaller artists could face dangers of losing their job because of this, because AI coding stuff. And do you think, or do you see law evolving into protecting this situation or this issue?
There definitely should be. If you look towards the West, they are already trying to look into how to protect artists in terms of like from AI. But I think a good step forward would be how they train the AI and give credit from there. And I think that's a step forward, that's the least we can do.
I'm so glad that there's actually a step forward towards protecting the artists, because it's already hard enough to make it through life, right? Even you cannot really become an artist, even though you told us that we have for fun everywhere. But even it's also very hard for you to produce it and actually become big. But imagine if you already have an AI stepping over the world. Because currently I'm sure everybody have heard the news on the AI actor that is already getting a lot of signs because she is AI and she can be fake throughout the whole movie. They need the voiceover, right? So honestly, I don't know how the musician can cope into taking it over, but that's quite relieving to hear that they are actually taking the step towards protecting the artist itself. And I'm sure the songwriter and producer are as welcome in the new genre. Can I know your thoughts about the mixed genre from AI itself?
Well, fusion has always been around, but the thing about fusion is that it has always been a natural sort of evolution of how genres mix with another genre, right? For example, we have, like pop rock. How did pop and rock mix together? If you really look into that, there's a really nice explanation of and natural phenomena of how these two genres actually merged together. But with AI up and around, people can just pick two different genres, put them together. It doesn't really make sense, and it doesn't really work together, and it has no cultural people like it, but it has no cultural and
the impact
significance to it.
True.
Yeah.
I also wonder if it can generate the woodpecker sound, because like it's so like creative, quote unquote.
Yeah. I'm sure they could.
Does that mean AI could replace songwriters though? Because if you can put two and two together, does that mean you can just replace the producer easily?
Well, tools like Suno definitely can produce great songs and songs that mimic other artists if you prompt it to, but I feel like it always lacks originality.
True.
You can never find a unique sound from it.
Exactly, and I'm not sure if you guys have heard about the music, what's it called, the linger sound, all the everyday therapist mother made. I'm not gonna sing it out because copyright issues. We just touched on that. I'm not gonna sing it out because I feel like AI could never create such an impactful really lyrics from this type of music, and especially when it doesn't really understand human emotions. So if let's say I wanted to make it something very impactful, I'm thinking if you guys are music listeners out there, you can rest easy because it cannot really change and put human emotions into it. So do you think there is a possibility of AI ever making music that is more popular than human music in that sense then?
If you take a look at that track that you mentioned earlier, the Drake track, it was pretty popular, right? It was pretty big. But at the end of the day, people knew it was AI. People liked it, right? But people listened to it because they thought it was cool that AI was doing this and doing that, and it was so advanced for that time. I personally think that AI will never create a song more popular than how humans would create.
Yeah, because they're kind of flat, right?
Yeah, they're always flat. The thing is, they will never have a unique sort of sound.
True. So I guess for the music lovers out there, keep an eye out. And I also think the same thing. Maybe it was so popular because it was created by AI and people were like, oh my god, it's AI generated. Just like how the new actor is, every company are buying the term buying, not and owning the character, instead of saying that it's a purely human thing. So I think for our music lover out there, make sure you keep an eye out if you are listening to AI and not funding the actual, funding the right person instead of supporting an AI music artist, because I know it's kind of hard to continue making living outside, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So last question, do you see AI as a threat to musicians, or do you think it's more of a collaborator?
I honestly feel that it's definitely not a threat, but I personally do not use AI as a collaborator. But I do not shame people who do. It's a tool for you to use, and if you can capitalize it well, then good for you, you know.
True.
Go.
Well, I vote that the artists are getting fairly paid if they do use AI, because AI is such a sensitive, quote unquote, sensitive topic to even talk about when it comes to creativity. And actually, this is not going to be the last question. Do you think AI is killing creativity, especially in musicians?
I think it is killing creativity, especially in musicians. In the sense where, like, I'm sure there are bands out there or people out there who wants to be like, oh, they want to sound like a certain band, but how do they do it? They don't know how to sound like a certain band, right? So you just got to type out the prompt in Suno, how to sound like this, like, you know, create a song to sound like this band. And it does sound like the band. That's a crazy thing. And all they have to do is just tweak the lyrics, you know, tweak the melody, and then they can just perform the song.
That is crazy.
I really hope the music industry can keep an eye out on AI music, especially that there's this type of different type of piracy. Because I'm sure that whenever I talk about cassette tape just now and the problem of piracy, people didn't think that they could record off the radio, because back then you can use phone to record. Like I remember flip phones, when you can say, okay, I'm not here right now, so call me after this song ends, and then they will put it on the radio. That type of thing, that's also a type of piracy. But now that people are using AI, let's say, oh, make, like what he said, make music based on this bad stuff, I hope that they do have a law to protect these artists from getting misused, and especially Assistant Deshaun, rest in peace. His music is also getting released and featured with other artists that are living even until now, and they get adjusted to it right away, because we have seen that AI is shaking up the music industry, and in a ways that we have never really experienced until the Drake featuring The Weeknd's Heart on the Sleeve. That is something that we should be very aware of. Even though the beat is still off, people are still can have a possibility of using it.
Have you ever received a message with links that look like this? Do not click the link. It is a scam. Specifically, a phishing scam. It is designed to look like it came from your own bank, telcos, or even delivery companies to trick you into revealing your own personal and banking information through a fake website. Remember these 3 red flags of phishing scam. The SMS will contain a link to a fake website. Do not click on the link, as banks and organizations will never send you SMS containing any links. The link in the SMS will lead you to a fake website requesting for your info, such as bank card number, IC number, and others to redeem rewards. Then, it will lead you to a fake banking payment login page to steal your online banking username and password. Always ensure to verify your chosen security image and phrase before entering your password. If you see any other image or phrase, do not proceed. If you've been scammed, do not panic and immediately call your bank's fraud hotline or the NSRC at 997. Stay alert and jangan kena scam.
So at the end of the day, AI is not just a tool, but a choice, and it's up to the musicians, producer, tech company, and yes, even listeners like you can decide if you want to support AI or AI should play a part in the future of music. So here's my challenge to you guys. Next time you listen to a song, ask yourself, does it really matter who made it? And if it was you, does it matter if it's human or AI? Or do we still crave the human touch in the beat of lyrics that we love? Thank you so much for watching this podcast for today. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye!